Hello and welcome to the next edition of the Media Online's new video series, where we ask newsmakers the tough questions and explore the hot topics. This week we look at an event that is looming on the horizon, the latest annual PAMRO Conference, where specialists will gather to discuss research in Africa. My guest to explain more about the importance of this gathering is Oresti Patricios, founder and CEO of the Ornico Group and a board member of PAMRO. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So we'll start off with broadly, what does the research in Africa landscape currently look like?
Well, it's improving every year. It's improving. I mean, we've had the Pamora conferences across Africa very often, every once a year. So it's been for a while. But you can see the research is changing dramatically, and there's so many different avenues, and digital has actually helped research in Africa without a doubt. And I think that's what makes it really exciting. And the use of digital, use of mobile, but also how many international brands are coming into Africa and helping with that research. But I also think that research is critical, specifically for foreign direct investment. You know, international brands don't really want to invest in Africa if they don't have research and they don't have data and they don't have numbers. You know, so for us it's really critical that we have that. But also to have a standardized methodology across Africa, because Africa is not one country, as we all know, you know.
Yes.
There's many, 54 different countries. Well, it depends on how you look at it, but 54 different countries. So how do we standardize that methodology across Africa so that brands can have a standard to be able to compare between different countries?
We've had these advancements, but what challenges does research on the continent still face?
There's a lot of challenges. Money, number one, because you need to put money behind research. And the basic stuff like electricity, the supply of electricity becomes a key issue. Transportation, how do you get to your consumer at the end of the day, specifically in rural areas? So a lot of the time, sometimes what happens is that you have that dearth of research in rural areas because people can't actually get to those areas. Those are the basic challenges that you have, but it also makes it exciting. And one of the things and why it becomes exciting is you try and find other ways to do your research. So you kind of foster new ways to do research because of the fact that you have those issues.
As I mentioned, PAMRO Conference is coming up. What does it offer to the people who attend?
Networking opportunity. I mean, it's really exciting to get to meet people around the continent and share ideas and share stories. And some of them are really deep thought, deep stories. Others are really exciting. And you build friendships, you build relationships. I think that's number one. There's speakers from all over the world that you kind of get to meet. But also you do some of the fun things. Going to visit Vic Falls, I mean, is really fun to do. I mean, the weather in Zim at this stage is superb. So it's really exciting being there at this point in time.
So give us a couple of examples of who's going to be there, who's going to be speaking, and what are they going to be speaking about?
So we've got some of the international research brands like Kantar, like Geopol, Telmar, Nielsen's. They're having breakfast, but they're also talking about a couple of different things, but specifically either in the digital space, out of home, what is mobile the research is really big. Radio and how important radio is in South Sudan. We really haven't had much research in South Sudan, so that's becomes really exciting. Social media is a big thing in Africa, and how do we research social media, how those conversations happening, how brands ultimately using it, but how the consumers utilizing it. Audience research across Africa is a really great topic that is happening. But I think it's how we share those ideas that really makes PAMRO that go-to conference at the end of the day, you know. And how we improve every year, and how do we utilize that research across Africa, and how do we bring in brands into Africa to actually lift Africa, I think is really the key issue.
What is the importance of Africa?
Sure. Okay, it's a young population. And I think that's why brands are excited to kind of get into Africa. Where's their growth? If you really think about it, the youth at the end of the day often see the glass half full. The world at this stage sees the glass half empty. And that's what's really exciting about Africa. And also, if you really think about it, aging populations don't really spend money because they've spent their money. They want to retire, they're trying to save their money. Youthful populations want to spend money. They want to spend money on brands, on clothing, on entertainment. So that's what makes Africa really, really exciting.
So for those who haven't seen, it's been everywhere, but just for those people who are not awake, details of the Pamora Conference. When's it taking place? Where? How much?
If you go into the PAMRO website, I mean, there's all that information there, and you can also download stuff. It's at the end of August. We pay, if you remember, it's 6,000 Rand for the conference. If you're a non-member, it's 7,000 Rand for that conference, plus accommodation. We've got special rates at the Elephant Hills Hotel, which is a stunning, absolutely stunning hotel. And we're all in one hotel, which is really, that's what makes it really unique this year again, is that we're all in one hotel. We can all network, we drink together, party together, but also go to the conference together. And yeah, and it's right by the Vic Falls. So we're going to do a tour of the Vic Falls. It's really exciting. Guys can also bungee jump. They can go on a whole lot of other tours.
Sounds like it's going to be very informative and also fun at the same time.
I think that's what these conferences are all about. Get some information, but also have fun.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your insights. That was the founder and CEO of the Ornico Group and a board member of PAMRO, Oresti Patricios.